Hey guys, welcome to Scott Cook Music and Theory by Hand. As a follow-up to the previous voice leading videos, I wanted to offer a sort of putting it together video in which we voice lead chord progressions that are a little longer and a little more realistic, I suppose. So this first example is in C major, and I'm going to voice lead between the chords C major, D minor, G major, and C major. So in the key of C, that is a 1, 2, 5, and 1 chord. Keep in mind that when voice leading between the first two chords, the C major to the D minor chord, I'll be dealing with chords whose roots are separated by a second, and that these chords share no notes in common. So the voice leading approach here is one that says I'm going to move the upper voices in contrary motion to the bass. Two of those voices will move down by a step. One will move down by a small leap of a third, as we can see in the upper voice here. When I move from my 2 chord to my 5 chord, my D minor to G major, I'm dealing with chords whose roots are separated by a fifth. So these chords share one note in common. I move the remaining voices by step to the closest member of the next chord. The same rules apply when moving from my 5 chord to my 1 chord, my G major chord to C major chord. These chords are separated by a fifth, and so I keep the common tone, move the remaining voices by step to the closest member of the next chord. Let's do one more example here that's a little longer. For consistency, I'll keep it again in the key of C major. In this example, I will use 5 chords. I will voice lead between the chords C major, F major, D minor, G major, and back to C major. So in the key, I'm dealing with a 1, 4, 2, 5, 1 progression. When I move from C major to F major, the 1 chord to the 4 chord, I am again dealing with chords whose roots are separated by a fifth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the single common tone, and I'm going to move the remaining voices by step to the closest member of the next chord. In this example, I will put the common tone between the first 2 chords in the top voice. It'll be the note C, so that my 2 middle voices move up by step to E and A, respectively. Now, when I move from the 4 chord to the 2 chord, the F major to D minor, I'm dealing with chords whose roots are separated by a third, and so in this case, I have 2 common tones, as shown here in the inner voices. I have to then just move the remaining voice up by step to the closest member of the next chord. When I move from 2 to 5, and from 5 to 1, as in the previous example, I'm dealing with chords whose roots are separated by a fifth, and I stick to the same voice leading principles. So I hope that's helpful, and thanks for watching.